Hi, I'm Brad Robinson with Healing Broken Trust. A common challenge that couples will face is wondering where the romantic love has gone between them. How do we fall back in love with each other? How do we get this spark again? How do we find this relationship to be easy again? How do we get out of this rut? How do we break this um, sameness? How do we break this monotony that's in our relationship? How do we get out of this? And there are some key ways that we can do that that have been shown scientifically through brain scans to be really powerful ways to help people fall in love. And so I want to go over a couple of those with you today. I deal with a lot with infidelity. I see a lot of situations where people will maybe have an affair and find themselves falling in love again with the affair partner and not with their spouse. And then when they re-engage back into the marriage, they're wondering, how do I feel passion again in my life? How do I feel connected to my spouse again? And um, what primarily creates the feeling of passionate love or that feeling of falling in love is really excitement. It's novelty. It's a sense of adventure. So novelty, excitement, a sense of adventure is what creates that feeling of falling in love. And if you apply that to just dating, and you can see how this carries over to an affair, when you're meeting a new person, you're dating, you're wondering, do they like you or not? There's the uncertainty. There's the idea of, do they like me? Do they not like me? That kind of drives a feeling of, I don't want to, the word I'm looking for is in some ways obsessiveness, where you think about that person. You like them, maybe you find them attractive. And so you begin to think about that person, maybe daydream about that person. And you kind of want them to return the feelings of attraction or love to you. And in that process of just wondering if somebody likes you that you're into or interested in can begin to foster the feeling of romantic love, because it's exciting. It's in some ways an adventure. It's novel. It's new. It's not the same. It's not monotonous. It's not the same thing every day. And what excitement brings, and what adventure brings, and what um, novelty brings is a feeling. It creates dopamine in the brain, and when there's dopamine, that brings a feeling of pleasure, and that is what we're often after. Is we're chasing dopamine, but how we chase it is through excitement, through adventure, through newness. That's what creates it, and that's what creates it in romantic relationships. And if we can recreate that for ourselves, we're going to begin to find ourselves, in a sense, beginning to almost have like a love affair with our spouse. People will have a love affair with someone else that they're not married to, because they, for many different reasons, but we can recreate that same feeling with our spouse if we know how. And we do that through um, doing things that are just different, new, exciting. And so let's think of some examples. Maybe changing where we go to eat. Instead of eating at the same restaurant, going somewhere new. Maybe even eating with another couple. Get going and doing, if you've never, going and doing things that are out of your couple routine. If what you normally do is dinner and a movie, then you got to do something different. If you've got to rush home, then you got to get a babysitter. If you've got to, maybe you need to get out of the town that you're in and go travel somewhere for a weekend. You're going to have to get social support through babysitters, family members' help, friends' help. You're going to have to really prioritize your relationship. And sometimes that means just getting out of the town that you're in. Men will connect easier by doing activities together where they don't have to look at their spouse. They don't have to make eye contact. Just men are just wired that way. Women will feel like they're connecting through eye contact. And so you're going to have to honor each other's both needs. You have to be aware of that. but you want to really just look for things that are new, exciting, and different. Maybe that's getting out in nature, horseback riding. Here in Oklahoma and in other states, they have gun ranges. I had a couple one time who told me, and I don't shoot guns, I don't own a gun, but I had a couple one time who told me that they went to a gun range, and it really just created a lot of excitement because there was a feeling of danger being around guns. And so that may be something that we can do as long as we don't murder each other or kill each other. But changing it up, if it becomes all we do is go shoot guns, because that is kind of dangerous, and there is a level of excitement there, that will eventually become monotonous. That will eventually become kind of boring. That will be the same as we always do. And sameness and monotony are the opposite of excitement. And so we can do things that are exciting, like bungee cords, jumping with bungee cords, or other things like that. And they're good, but you want to change things up. You want to get away from the sameness of everything. And you really have to get help. You have to get babysitters. If you have a young family, you're going to have to prioritize your marriage. You have to put your spouse first. And that's really hard when you have young kids, because you know how important it is to be there for them. And you know how they can miss you and cry. So find people that you can trust. Find people that your kids feel safe with, that you feel safe leaving your kids with if you're going to be gone for a couple days. But you really have to prioritize your relationship if you want to have that feeling of romantic love. Romantic love will wane because it wasn't originally nature's idea that we constantly feel obsessed about each other, that we're constantly staring at each other in the eyes and thinking about this relationship and daydreaming about each other, because nothing else would ever get done. If all we did was just daydream about this person we're in love with, our spouse, while we're dating, nothing would ever get done. That's meant to be more of a temporary thing that helps us bond with each other so that we can create a family together, so that we can become attached to one another, so that we can feel secure with this person and then begin to create a family. And when people begin to get comfortable, we sometimes can take each other for granted because we know we love our spouse. We know how important they are to us. But those kinds of things, that sameness and that monotony in the everyday routine, it's the opposite of romantic. It's those are the conditions that are the opposite of creating romantic love. So we have to work hard at it, and we have to prioritize each other. So hopefully this has been helpful. We do workshops for couples whose marriages are really needing a boost. And we have workshops for couples who are dealing with infidelity and looking to heal. Reach out to us at healingbrokentrust.com. Also, I have a free gift for you. I'll have it on the screen. It's 21 things that people who've been unfaithful think but don't know how to share with their spouse. So if you want more information on that, go to our website, healingbrokentrust.com. I'll have the link in the description box below. And before we go, leave a comment below on what you would like to do, or maybe what you have done in the past or are currently doing to help you feel more romantic love towards your spouse. What have you found out, or what do you do that can recreate the conditions of feeling passionate towards each other and that feeling of being in love with each other? Let me know below. Please like and subscribe. Until next time.